Hey everybody, I'm Marc Dunham, chef for the Atherton Hotel and Ranchers Club. Join us over the next few minutes as we cook a pasta dish inspired by the spring. It's not only delicious, but it's good for you, so stay tuned right here on Play With Your Food. All right, everybody, we are back. So we're talking pasta today, and I wanted to go back to pasta because we finally, after about 6 months worth of wait, got our new pasta machine in at the Ranchers Club. And the pasta machine not only sheets pasta, but it extrudes dry pasta. So the pasta that we're going to show you in just a couple of minutes is kind of a rigatoni style pasta that we made in-house. So it's quite fun and it's delicious. But let's talk about the entire pasta dish for today. So springtime's coming up, so you're going to see a lot of new crops coming out locally, peas and beans and things, and that's what we're going to do today is a pasta with a little bit of chopped bacon, some spring peas, which were gathered locally, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, some olive oil, and a little bit of butter. So we're going to start with slicing some garlic, and I'm going to get this in the pan with a little bit of olive oil and a touch of butter. In terms of amounts for this dish per portion, for the olive oil and butter, you're talking about maybe of a quarter of a teaspoon each. So I've got this pan getting warm here. I'm going to put just a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter. We're going to get some of the flavorings from some of the chopped bacon a little bit later, some of the peas, so we don't have to go too heavy on the oils. All right, so that's going to go in the pan and start to sweat down. I don't want to turn this on too hot. Again, remember, when you're cooking garlic or shallots or things like that, you get too hot, it gets burnt and bitter. It never comes out of the flavor. So there we go. Turning this up just a little bit more. And I think I'm going to add just a touch more olive oil. I think it was a little too light the first time around there. Okay. Now that that's in, we're getting a little bit of action there. The pasta has been in the water for about 3 minutes or so. Because it's a pasta that we made in-house and it's not completely dry, it's only going to take about 5 minutes. The pasta that you buy from the store, and if you want a little healthier version, use a whole wheat. You can use penne or rigatoni. It'll probably take about 10 minutes from start to finish. This is only going to take about 5. All right, so we got a little bit of action going. I'm going to chop up this bacon just a little bit finer because we're not really using this as substance in the dish, more as a flavor component. And the bacon is rendered pretty well, so there's not a lot of fat left in the bacon. It's pretty crispy. So what's left is basically just crispy protein, and it's going to give the flavor of bacon and a little bit of the salty component that bacon lends. I wanted to address something today when we were talking about kind of eating healthy in my mind, and again, I know there's plenty of people that are going to disagree with what I have to say in terms of just overall health and dishes, but I don't feel like you can have every dish that you have to eat be perfectly balanced on all fronts in terms of the perfect amount of fat, the perfect amount of vegetables, the perfect amount of this. So what I try to do in my own diet and what I try to promote is if you're going to have a dish that may be a little heavy on fat, one dish, or one meal period during the week, then go back and make sure that your next meal period is not so high in fat, or maybe that it's more vegetable based. In go these spring peas. These spring peas were already blanched in salted boiling water. All right. I'm going to take this off the burner here and wait for that pasta 1 second. But getting back to that, to perfectly balance every meal is not only almost impossible, but it's not very exciting in my opinion. So what I like to do, this for example has probably a little bit too much fat in terms of a perfectly balanced dish, but later on I'm not going to worry about it because I'm probably going to eat something that doesn't have so much fat. All right, so I'm going to give this a test. That is really hot. Okay, that's cooked well enough for me. Just going to drain the pasta. And again, the pasta was cooked in salted boiling water. Okay, this gets drained properly. It's nice and hot still. Into the pan. Just going to stir this around a little bit. It's got the garlic, the nice, beautiful peas. We're going to go back in with a little bit of bacon. But I'm going to put the bacon and the greens on and the cheese as we plate it. So, we've got a pasta with lots of spring peas that are delicious for you. In terms of weight, what I cooked was about 4 ounces of pasta dry weight. You can probably cut back on that if you are concerned about the volume of it to about 2 ounces for a half portion. A little bit of chopped bacon. That was probably about half of a teaspoon of completely rendered chopped bacon. A little pinch of Parmesan cheese, again for flavor. And I'm going to go back these beautiful little microgreens that we buy from a farmer in Oklahoma City. This is bull's blood and some chervil, so it adds a little bit of herbaceousness and a little bit of pretty color. So that's it. You got a pasta dish based on some spring vegetables, spring peas, a little chopped bacon, some Parmesan, a little olive oil and butter. You're good to go. It was super quick, 10 minutes. So enjoy. Make sure and join us next week where we cook some more tasty meals that are not only delicious but good for you right here on Play With Your Food.